Hey guys, I'm Dan from Shasta Bubba Adventures, and today is the first day of what I think was going to be a 4-day trip to Halfmoon Park and Scapegoat Mountain in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. I'm currently at Double Falls Campground, and the first order of business was to stash a beer in the creek, so that will be available for me when I get done, nicely chilled. And the second order of business is, unfortunately, I have to close the loop. There's about a 1 mile distance between the trailheads from here to the Crown Mountain trailhead. And I could just walk it, but I have a bike, so why not use the bike and hopefully make that quick and easy, unless it's uphill, and then I'm going to be sorry I brought my bike. I'm really looking forward to this trip because it's in kind of a little known and little used corner of the Bob, and so I'm expecting probably not to run into a whole lot of people. There's nobody at this campground right now, just 2 cars at the trailhead. So we'll see how that plays out. If I am guessing right, that I won't run into many people on this. Thanks for coming along. Well, I made it to the Crown Mountain trailhead, and I can now definitively say that riding a bike for the road piece was a silly mistake. That was mostly uphill and into a fairly stiff headwind, so it took me 20 minutes to get here and get the bike stashed in the woods. If I would have just walked it, it would have only been a half an hour. So if I come back and do this again, forget about the bike and just road walk, much easier. And yeah, it took quite a bit of energy out of me since I don't usually ride my bike very often. So now I get to climb up and around the shoulder of Crown Mountain. Hope I have enough energy left to do it. About 15 minutes in, and that's the first clear shot I've had of Crown Mountain. I'm going to be climbing up over the south side of that, which is to the left there, across the shoulder. Should be about 1,000 feet up. 1,000 feet back down the other side. Second clear shot of Crown Mountain as I get a little closer. The trail isn't terribly steep, but it is a lot of up first thing. Wonder if that's what they call a lady slipper. She's pretty. Looks like I'm heading off over the shoulder now. Coming up to a saddle, I believe, which would be Jim Dandy. Wouldn't mind coasting downhill for a while. I'm winding around the side of the mountain, so I have a view to the east now. Southeast, I guess. Well, that saddle that I thought might be the high point wasn't. I'm pretty sure that is. The trail has wound around the edge of the mountain for about another 1.5 miles to get to this point. It's a pretty impressive view. No, I guess I wasn't done with the elevation gain at that saddle. There's a little more to go. Getting kind of breezy as I get up into that chute of a pass. Almost there now. Well, I'm going to say that was a steady 40-mile-an-hour wind right up there in the pass. But just a little bit past it, there's a nice valley here in the saddle that the person was caught out up here for some reason. Might make a nice shelter to hide out in if there was something blowing over. This is some of the country on the far side of the pass. Looks like it might be kind of nice to drop down in and get sheltered. Working my way down through this burn area, which makes me pretty happy about that breeze that is blowing. And the clouds that are going by from time to time to block the sun. Maintenance on the far side of the pass, not so great. The trail gets a little faint and hard to follow in places, mainly due to the burn. Just about a mile to go till Straight Creek, and things are starting to get kind of hairy. Well, this trail junction may not look like much to you, but I'm pretty thrilled to get here because that is the Straight Creek Trail, which is actually the CDT. And the trail I've been on, the Crown Mountain Trail, was steep, rocky, and poorly maintained from the pass all the way on down. So I expect the CDT is going to be a little better maintained and hopefully a bit better going from here on out. Alright, I made it to the turnoff off the CDT and heading up there. Not sure, hard to imagine where that trail is going to go. That's why we hike it, I guess, to find out. Okay, well, at 6:30 and I made it to the Green Fork Patrol Cabin. Looks all shut up. And the amazing setting I'm going to just keep going around because that is Straight Creek Pass. And then you got that beautiful knob overlooking you. And I'm heading up that direction. Well, it's 10 to 7 and I've decided to stop for a moment and have dinner, my usual bagel sandwich, and regroup and try to figure out just how far up this trail I want to go. Unfortunately, it is definitely not maintained, and I've already, just in the first couple hundred yards, had to work my way over a pretty good tangle or three of deadfalls, so I imagine it's going to be quite a slog to get very far up this. There is a campsite I was hoping to shoot for that I think is about 2 miles, but we'll see. Not sure how that's going to go, but I'll try my best. Meanwhile, dinner. Okay, well, I've decided I'm going to head on up for about another hour, trying to climb up in this valley, and hope there isn't too much deadfall to slow me up, and I hope I can find what my guidebook says is where the forest starts again, and there's a decent campsite there, so hope it's right, and this is how we find out, I guess. Turns out there is some deadfall, but it's just little stuff, easy to step over, so it's not too bad going so far. Well, it took a big push at the end, but I achieved my goal and got to this little pond, which is 11.5 miles for the day, and it's 8:15, so pretty good timing. Well, since I had already had dinner on the trail, there really wasn't much to do but just hang up my food, set up the shelter in this rather cramped spot, and hit the sack, hoping for a good night's sleep so I'd be ready for day 2 and the attempt to climb Scapegoat Mountain.